Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel here. We're just taking advantage of some nice late afternoon light. We've got some really nice warm light coming through the clouds. It's almost like storm light, but not quite. It's breaking up a bit this evening. And it's absolutely beautiful out here. It's cold. Things are starting to freeze. I was really hoping that we'd find a reflection down here, but not so lucky. It's already started freezing up in some of these places that have little to no movement in water. But I'm going to flip you around and show you what we're working with. All right. Right along the front here in the mountains, there's some low-hanging clouds, and it's catching some light and it's making for some really interesting atmosphere. If I just zoom you in a bit, you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about here. I have things framed up so that I can shoot a pano. We'll see what our settings turn out here in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and take the first image and see how it turns out. Here it is. All right, I shot the first panoramic. I think that shot turned out really good. Now what I'm doing is I've flipped the camera back to sitting horizontal on the tripod, and I'm using the full length of the long lens to try picking out some of these scenes. We have some really cool atmosphere. I'll show you what I have framed up on the back of the camera now. So I focus just right in at the center here, shooting at 1/200th of a second, f8, ISO 100, and just focusing on this fairly pyramidal peak that's sitting right before us here. It's a good long ways out there. You can see that you really need the long lens to capture it, but the light up there is slightly dappled. They've got hammered with snow in the mountains the last few days. And so it's created for some really heavy snow conditions up there, which are always super photogenic. So I think I'm really happy with this, and I'll show you the image now. Well, I really like the images that we came away with from this little quick spot that we took advantage of some really nice afternoon light. The little baby is sleeping in the car, or hopefully she's still sleeping in the car. Hopefully stopping didn't wake her up. I'll be in trouble if that's the case. But either way, I think what we're going to do now is find a better place to park the car and go throw the drone up in the air and see if we can get some really cool footage of that dynamic light on the mountains over a lot of snow-capped trees. I'm hoping that I can come away with a couple of good stills and not just a bunch of video from it. So I'm hoping, and I suppose you'll get to find out right now. So if those turned out any good, here are the shots. Okay, so I lied. I'm not actually gonna put the drone up yet. I got back to the car. Baby's awake, but thankfully she's in a good mood. But I got back to the car, drove down the road a little bit, and the light got a whole lot softer. So instead of burning some of the best light I've seen in weeks on drone footage, I'm gonna use the big camera to capture some more stills. So I'm gonna set back up, probably shoot another panoramic. The light's just absolutely soft, warm, smooth. It's certainly warmer than it was, and a lot warmer than my fingers are. But before it changes anymore, I'm gonna shut up and set back up. Okay, well that panoramic I like a lot more than the first one, even though the differences are extremely subtle. But now I've decided to, take what I was looking at in the panoramic, simplify it, and grab a really nice single frame here of somewhere where some of the most dynamic light actually is right now. It's really soft, really subtle. I think I can lengthen that. I can tell it's getting quite a bit darker as I'm doing this. But I really like that image. I think I'm going to pop on over to my wide angle lens now and see if I can capture more of this really interesting sky that we have going on. So give me a minute, enjoy this shot, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so I'm taking advantage of the rubber bottom boots that I'm wearing today, and I've peeled over just into this tiny little reflection pond that we have under the bridge here. It's not opening it up, the way I would hope it would, but it is still fairly pleasing with the light catching these clouds. So I'll show you what that looks like framed up back here. Yeah, not too bad as long as I'm not stomping around in the water like an idiot throwing reflections out. But I think it's pretty pleasing, and as this color continues to saturate naturally in the sky, I might angle it even further down. I might turn it vertical. I'm not sure. I'm going to explore a little bit with this, but before the light gets any worse or gets any more faded, I'm going to take a shot now. So, out of all those images that I'm about to take and have already taken, here's a collection, or singular, of my favorites. Well, the light's really catching now. I like how those images turned out, but it wasn't capturing this southern end of the range very well. I'm gonna pivot once again, like the unorganized photographer that I am, and see if I can capture something out of this last of the dying light this evening. The really pyramidal peak that I photographed earlier is catching some really nice color right now, so I think I'm gonna actually slap the long lens back on and see if I can work with that again. There's still some decent atmosphere hanging around up there. So if those shots turn out, here they are. All right, I'm really happy with what I came away with there. The light cooperated, and this morning started out just blizzarding. It's awful. Roads are terrible. So very happy to say I'm not far from home right now, and I didn't see any of this coming. So everything we got in this video, I feel like is an absolute bonus to this weekend. So, but now I actually mean it, and I'm going to put up the drone and see what we can get with the last of the dying light this evening. If I get a couple of good stills, I'll throw them up on the screen, but if not, I think that's just a pretty pleasant way to end the video. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you around next time.